If you want a girlfriend but feel like things never progress, you might be focusing on the wrong strategies. The truth is, attraction doesn't happen by chance. There are psychological triggers that make a woman interested quickly. And today, you're going to discover 7 proven seduction techniques that speed up this process. But here's a warning. The 6th tip might surprise you because it goes against everything you've been taught about winning over a woman. So stick around until the end. Tip number 1, master your masculine energy. Have you ever noticed how some guys walk into a room and instantly grab attention without even saying a word? That happens because they've mastered their masculine energy. And before you think this means being aggressive or dominant, that's not what it's about. It's about projecting confidence, purpose, and presence. Women can sense this from a distance and are naturally drawn to men who give off that calm, strong energy. The way you move, your posture, and even how you take up space make all the difference. If you slouch, speak softly, and avoid eye contact, your presence fades into the background. But if you stand tall, speak calmly and confidently, and maintain direct eye contact, you radiate a natural magnetism. And this doesn't mean forcing a posture or pretending to be someone you're not. It's simply about reinforcing the best version of yourself. Think of a successful businessman walking into a high-end restaurant. He doesn't need to announce that he has money or influence. The way he walks, dresses, and carries himself already says it all. Now, compare that to a guy who's fidgety, looking around nervously, or trying too hard to get attention. The difference is striking, and women notice it immediately. So before thinking about pickup lines or tricks to impress a woman, start by mastering your own energy. Improve your posture, train yourself to speak more securely, and act like someone who knows what he wants. Men with this kind of presence are seen as natural leaders. And that's extremely attractive to any woman. Tip number 2, the power of eye contact. Are you looking the right way? Eye contact is one of the most powerful tools in seduction, but many guys either overdo it or don't do it enough. Some look away too quickly, making them seem insecure, while others stare too intensely, which can come off as creepy or intimidating. The key is balance, a steady but relaxed gaze that shows confidence without feeling forced. When a man masters this skill, he instantly becomes more attractive. And here's an important detail. The way a woman reacts to your gaze can tell you a lot about her level of interest. If she holds eye contact for a few seconds before looking away, she might be testing you. If she quickly looks down, she might be nervous, which usually means attraction. But if she looks to the side and avoids eye contact afterward, she's probably not interested. Learning to read these signals can help you avoid wasting time or missing great opportunities. Want a simple exercise to train this? Next time you greet someone, hold eye contact for just 1 second longer and observe their reaction. It may seem like a small change, but it makes a big difference in how people perceive you. Oh, and don't forget, your gaze should feel natural, ideally paired with a neutral expression or a slight smile, depending on the moment. This shows that you're comfortable in the situation. And confidence is everything. Now tell me, have you ever felt like a woman was looking at you differently, but weren't sure if it was interest or just politeness? Often, a simple detail in eye contact can completely change the direction of an interaction. Drop a comment below with your experience, and let's figure this out together. Tip number 3, be a challenge, not an easy prize. One of the most common mistakes men make when trying to win over a woman is showing too much interest too soon. Replying to messages instantly, always being available, and agreeing with everything she says might seem like a good idea, but in reality, it lowers your attractiveness. Women are naturally drawn to mystery and the thrill of the chase. When something comes too easily, their interest can fade fast. But be careful. Being a challenge doesn't mean ignoring her or acting cold. The point is to show that you have an interesting life and that your time is valuable. A man with goals, hobbies, and an active routine automatically becomes more attractive. That's because he sends the message that if she wants to be part of his life, she'll need to put in some effort. And this subtle challenge creates a natural attraction. Think about the difference between two guys trying to get a woman's attention. The first one is always there, ready to reply to any message and willing to change his plans just to please her. The second one has his own pace, responds when he can, and sticks to his priorities. Which one seems more interesting? The man with an active, independent life sparks curiosity and desire because he doesn't hand everything over too easily. Want to test this in real life? Next time she asks you out at the last minute, tell her you already have plans and suggest another day. If she texts you, don't feel the need to reply immediately. Small moves like these make her realize you're a high-value guy. And when there's a slight challenge involved, attraction naturally increases. Tip number 4. Subtle touch and physical connection. Touch is one of the most powerful ways to build a connection and increase attraction between a man and a woman. But here's an important detail. Overdoing it can be overwhelming, while avoiding physical contact altogether can make things feel cold and chemistry-free. The key is subtlety. Small gestures, like a light touch on her arm during a conversation, or briefly brushing against her while walking side by side, can make a huge difference without feeling forced. Context is everything. If she's already engaged in the conversation, smiling, and showing interest, a subtle touch can reinforce that connection. But if she still seems distant or a bit reserved, premature physical contact can be uncomfortable. The key here is to observe her body language and act naturally. When you do this with confidence, touch becomes much more powerful. Now, picture a dinner date where a couple is getting to know each other. During a lively conversation, he makes a playful remark and lightly touches her hand for a second. That small, well-timed gesture can create a sense of intimacy and connection. That's because touch conveys security and leadership, qualities that any woman finds irresistible. If you want to start applying this in your daily life, do it casually. A firm handshake when greeting her, a light touch on the shoulder when excited about something she said, or even a small gesture when helping her cross a busy street. When touch happens naturally and spontaneously, it becomes one of the most powerful elements of attraction. Tip number 5. Show that you're a man with purpose. Want to know what really attracts a woman? A man who knows where he's going. Having purpose in life is much more than having a good job or a plan for the future. It's about having clear goals, something that motivates you and makes you wake up every day with the drive to grow. Men who live with determination exude a magnetic energy because they show that their time and attention are valuable. And trust me, this sets them apart from the majority who simply go with the flow without a clear direction. Now, think of the opposite. A man without purpose is always seeking external validation, trying to please everyone and fitting in. The problem? He becomes forgettable. On the other hand, a guy with well-defined goals and a commitment to personal growth stands out without even trying. Women notice this difference right away and are naturally drawn to a man who doesn't need them to feel complete. Picture an entrepreneur building his own business, an athlete training with discipline, or an artist perfecting his craft every day. These men don't wait for life to happen, they make it happen. And the most interesting part? Women feel a natural desire to be part of a man's journey when he's like this. They want to be with someone who has ambition, passion, and moves forward without needing anyone's approval. If you want to become this kind of man, start by asking yourself, what really drives me? And where do I want to be in 5 years? Then, think about the skills you need to develop to get there. When your life has real purpose, confidence comes naturally. And that confidence is what makes you irresistible. Tip number 6. Master the art of emotional communication. Most men worry too much about what to say to impress a woman, but what really matters is how you make her feel. Emotional communication doesn't mean being dramatic or over the top. It means creating conversations that spark genuine feelings. Women connect much more through emotions in the moment than through the exact content of your words. A man who understands this is already way ahead of most. The biggest mistake guys make? Boring and predictable conversations. Questions like, "What do you do?" or "Where are you from?" don't create any emotional response. If you want her to really engage, bring up topics that activate imagination and nostalgia. Try asking, "What's the craziest thing you've ever done?" Or, "If you could live in any era in history, which one would you choose?" These kinds of questions make conversations flow in a fun and lighthearted way. And best of all, they make you memorable Now imagine a date where the guy is just listing facts about himself like he's reading a resume. The conversation dies in minutes because there's no emotional engagement. Now, think about a man who tells vivid stories, uses humor, and shares small vulnerabilities with confidence. That guy holds the woman's attention because he makes her feel something and turns the interaction into a special moment. Want to test this in real life? Pay attention to how she reacts to your words. If her eyes light up, if she laughs spontaneously, or if she shows curiosity to keep the conversation going, you're on the right track. At the end of the day, women want more than just an exchange of information. They want to feel something special in your presence. And a man who masters this principle never goes unnoticed. But before we move on to the next tip, I have an important message for you. There's a secret about attracting women that only a small percentage of men know, and you could be one of them. Imagine knowing exactly what to say and how to act to trigger a desire in her that she can't even explain, but can't resist. This knowledge is now within your reach. And the best part? You don't need to be rich, handsome, or experienced. Thousands of men around the world are using this method to completely transform their love lives. And the most surprising part? It's so simple that you'll wonder why you never knew about it before. Are you curious to find out what it is and how it works? Don't let this chance slip away. Click the link below to watch the video and discover this unique method. It could be the missing piece you need to turn things around and finally attract the women you've always wanted. The answer you're looking for is right there. Tip number 7, use scarcity to your advantage. Human desire is driven by perceived value, and nothing seems more valuable than what isn't always available. If a man makes his attention and time too easy to get, he automatically loses his attractiveness. Women can tell when a guy is always waiting around for them, and that lowers their interest. But when there's a certain level of scarcity, curiosity, and desire, only increase. This doesn't mean ignoring or manipulating her, but rather finding the right balance between presence and absence. If you reply to messages instantly, cancel plans to meet up with her or try too hard to please, she feels like she doesn't have to do anything to earn her place in your life. But if she realizes that you have an interesting life and aren't always available, she starts wondering what's going on and values you even more. Think about the concept of exclusivity. A restaurant with a long waiting list generates more interest than an empty one. A limited edition watch is more desirable than one that anyone can buy. The same applies to your time and attention. If you don't give everything away too quickly, a woman feels like she has to win you over little by little, keeping the attraction alive. Want to test this in real life? Avoid being too accessible. When she messages you, don't rush to reply every single time. If you're making plans to go out, choose a day that actually works for you instead of desperately rearranging your schedule for her. Small adjustments like these make her see you as a high-value man, not just another guy who's always available. And now, if you want to learn the next step to becoming an irresistible man, subscribe to the channel and click on the video appearing on the screen. I'm sure it'll open your mind and give you even more advantages in the game of attraction. See you there in a few seconds.